Top 10 Deepest Places on Earth You Never Knew Existed. It's well known that there are miles of layers between the ground we walk on and the solid core of the Earth, some 4,000 miles away. But how close can you get to that core? There are places on Earth which naturally go down to unbelievable depths, and then there are man-made structures that try to reproduce that. This list could easily consist of nothing but ocean trenches, but for a bit of variety we've included some other deep places, some of which are accessible. But most are not. Find out more in our top 10 deepest places on Earth. 10. Wood Indian Well. We'll start with a man-made feat, and a remarkable one at that. Going down to 850 feet below sea level, the Wood Indian Well is the world's deepest hand-dug well and was started in 1858. It took 4 years to complete and in total was 1,285 feet, although the initial plan was to dig just 400. 9. Taj Bahambach. At 961 feet below sea level, the Taj Bahambach mine is an open lignite mine in Elsdorf, Germany, and it is the deepest open mine in the world. The whole mine is 1,213 feet deep and contains the biggest excavator in the world, which removes around 24,000 tons of lignite every day, around a stadium's worth. 8. El Ziquitan. And now for something that's not artificial, the world's deepest sinkhole. Sinkholes are a curious natural phenomenon, as they just appear in the earth with no warning, and when this happens in populated areas, the devastation can be terrible. However, this is no new sinkhole. Ziquitan in Mexico has been around since the Pleistocene, and is a beautiful natural feature, filled with water. It goes down to 1,112 feet below sea level, which was measured by an automated robot. 7. Lake Baikal. Another natural wonder, Lake Baikal in Russia is the deepest lake in the world, reaching down to 5,387 feet. There has been much exploration of the lake, with the Russian Academy of Sciences sending small submersible craft down there in 2008, and they reached a depth of 5,180 feet, failing to break the world record for deepest freshwater dive. The record was also set in Baikal by Anatoly Sagalevich in 1990, and he reached 5,371 feet. 6. Kubra Voronyia Cave. Now, here's one that's not for anyone who's a bit claustrophobic. Voronyia Cave in Georgia is the deepest cave in the world, reaching down 7,208 feet. 5. Kidd Mine. The deepest mine on Earth is Mponeng Mine in South Africa, at a depth of 13,123 feet. However, the mine that goes deepest below sea level is Kidd Mine in Ontario, Canada, which reaches 8,967 feet below sea level. The total depth is around 10,000 feet, and as it's so far north, it is closer to the center of the Earth than any other mine. It opened in 1964, as an open pit mine, and has gradually expanded underground. 4. Lutke Deep. As mentioned earlier, the deepest places on Earth all tend to be under the ocean. So here's the deepest Arctic trench, the Lutke Deep in the Eurasian Basin. At 350 kilometers north of the Arctic wilderness of Svalbard. It's at one of the extremes of the Earth, so as well as being very deep, 17,881 feet, it's also very cold. It was named after the ice-breaking ship that discovered it in 1955, the Fyodor Lutke. 3. Milwaukee Deep. There are many deep trenches in the Atlantic Ocean, the Romanche Trench at 25,459 feet and the South Sandwich Trench at 27,650 are just two of them. But the deepest of them all is the Puerto Rico Trench, and specifically the Milwaukee Deep, which reaches 28,680 feet below sea level. It's found 76 miles north of Puerto Rico and was named after the USS Milwaukee, which discovered the deep on February 14, 1939, and recorded the reading of 28,860 feet. 13 years later, the wildlife vessel Theodore and Gill also measured the deep and recorded a depth of 28,560 feet. 2. Mariana Trench. The top 5 deepest trenches are all in the Pacific Ocean: the Tonga Trench, the Philippine Trench, the Kuro-Kamchatka Trench and the Kermadec Trench are all over 30,000 feet deep, but the deepest of them all is the Mariana Trench, at an amazing 35,994 feet deep. Being the deepest in the world, it has been the subject of much exploration, and at one point there was an intense competition between entrepreneur Richard Branson and film director James Cameron as to who could reach the bottom first. 1. Kola Super Deep Borehole. The deepest place on Earth is somewhere that's never been accessed by human beings, but it is man-made. It's the Kola Super Deep Borehole, and it's the deepest hole ever drilled, at 40,230 feet underground. When the project started in 1970, the aim was 49,000 feet, but the temperatures were higher than anyone expected, 356 F, and if they'd got to 49,000 feet it would have gone up to 572 F, which would be a difficult temperature for the drill to work out, even if it didn't just melt. So drilling stopped in 1992 and reached a third of the way through the continental crust. The current record holder for longest borehole is currently ODOP OP11 well at 40,502 feet, but the Kola borehole remains the deepest hole below the surface ever drilled.